Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on Living Like Lanasha. Today I'm going to tell you guys how I convinced myself to be confident even though I was not feeling at my best. So if you're looking to do that, stay tuned.
How you living?
So confidence is how you feel about yourself. It is not how other people feel about you. There's a difference between like confidence and cockiness. Cockiness is pretty much like, everyone's gonna like me, I'm better than everyone else, whereas confidence is, I like myself, I'm okay with myself, and that's all that I need. Anything else is great, but I'm really just focused on how I feel about myself. And learning the difference between those two can be kind of hard because, we have people in our lives who, when they see that you're getting a bit more confident, they might not like it and they'll try to like tear you down. And they'll call you cocky, they'll call you whatever. But once you know the actual difference, like people saying things like that won't get to you at all. So don't let it. So the first thing that I kind of realized was that confidence was all in my head. Pretty much all that I needed to do was just tell myself that I was confident, tell myself that I was feeling confident in certain decisions and certain actions that I was making. And I don't know, it just kind of started to come with ease. Granted, that wasn't the only thing that I did, but it does play a big part because just like plants, like the way that we talk to ourselves is very important, because if you're constantly like nagging on yourself or constantly being mean or whatever, like I know I have a bad habit of like calling myself a and your mind starts to believe the things that you say. So just as easy as it is to say negative things, you should try to kind of train your mind to say positive things about yourself so that your body can just kind of react to that. The number one tip that I think I would give is that someone is always watching you. I know we're always taught that we're not that important and no one's watching us, but in actuality, someone's always watching you, whether it's from their car, from wherever. And being someone with anxiety, someone who wasn't feeling confident in herself, that was the last thing I wanted to hear, because I was like, people see me looking crazy, acting crazy, and it just at first kind of really hit my self-esteem. Like it was just so low. But with knowing that someone's always watching you, you kind of start to do things a different way. Kind of like if someone you don't like is watching you succeed, it's fantastic because you're like in your face. But if you know that you're making great decisions, you know that you're doing the right thing, you know that you're being a good person, then someone watching you, literally, like, who cares? Watch away. You know what I mean? So always keep that in the back of your mind. The next thing that I'm gonna say, and this is totally not like I'm not a nutritionist, whatever, but eating better foods. I had a bad habit, I know last year we were all going through our things or whatever. My thing was ordering from Uber Eats, so much so that I just gained so much weight and I just felt horrible about myself. Not saying that weight equates to feeling any type of way, but once I started to incorporate healthier foods into my diet, I was in a better mood, I had more energy to do things, and that played a big role into my confidence because it was like, I wanted to go out, I wanted to wear whatever, because not only was I feeling good about myself, I had like kind of lost some weight, so I was like, I look good, is fat, but it does play a big role. It also, like with your skin, if you're eating French fries every day, your skin is gonna be pretty bad, unfortunately. But if you just kind of swap it out with just some healthy eats, some greens, some veggies, some fruits, then I promise you will be grateful in the end. The next thing that I'm gonna say is that you have to command space. And this mostly goes towards my ladies, not only like just my ladies, but also my plus size and my tall ladies. I am a plus size tall woman. I am 6'2". I spent my whole life kind of making myself small so that other people could be comfortable, and also so that I wouldn't stand out too much because of my confidence level being so low. But then I realized, like, I'm 6'2". Like, I am beautiful. I literally walk into a room, all eyes are on me, and that's fantastic. And when you kind of just realize that you deserve to take up space, then you don't feel yourself like kind of reverting back or hiding in the back of a room or anything like that. And that was also really important to me, because now that I recognize that like I deserve to take up space, then I'm there. I'm everywhere, honestly. And with commanding space comes commanding attention. And when I say commanding attention, I don't mean being obnoxious. I don't mean being in everyone's face, because no one likes that. But just, if you're in a conversation, speak up. make sure that people hear you. Make eye contact. So eye contact is huge in terms of confidence, because if you can't look someone in the eyes, they can tell that your confidence level is low. So even though it's hard, and I had a very hard time with it, just stare people down. And honestly, it gets kind of addicting, because then you realize you're kind of intimidating. If you stare at people long enough, they will look away. And that's the weak one. Don't be the weak one. Another tip to looking more confident would be your walk. So there are 2 types of walks. You can either be the person who looks down at your feet, and I'm saying this as a disclaimer, I was this person, but the person who looks down at their feet and does not look ahead, therefore creating like a hunchback of Notre Dame look. And from a mile away, people can see that you're not confident. It just kind of gives off this aura, like my body posture is bad, I don't care about life. So a tip to kind of make that look a little better would be to stand with your shoulders back. And by putting your shoulders back, you naturally not only bring your chin up, but your chest forward. And this, as humans, we see someone like this and we're like, wow, that person's confident. There's no doubt about it. So if you're trying to portray a confident look, maybe you're going into like a work meeting, maybe you're going in to like meet friends, maybe you got to walk down the movie theater steps. Just remember to keep your shoulders back and you'll be all set. Another way to be perceived as confident is when you're talking to someone. So when you're having a conversation with someone, just make sure that you're keeping eye contact, you're keeping your voice up, you're making sure that your words are nice and clear, and also that you're speaking nice and slow. Depending on who you're talking to, body language may be incorporated into that, just so that, you can kind of show like, I'm confident in the conversation that we're having, and go from there. It gets easier kind of like once you're in it. It's hard to just be like, okay, I'm going to talk to this person and I'm going to look them straight in the eyes and I'm going to say nice big words, nice and slow, so that they follow me. Don't do that. But just kind of like, if you have to, practice in your mirror, practice with your parents, with your pets, like whoever you need to, just practice eye contact and just practice speaking as if you are at a TED Talk. And whatever the TED Talk is about, your Those are a few tips that I have learned. A few things that I kind of learned to stay away from was definitely social media. It's hard to stay away from social media, but if you find yourself comparing yourself to people or just kind of like getting the little green-eyed monster whenever you're on your feed, then maybe it might be time to like clean out your following list or maybe take a break from social media, just so that you can kind of focus on yourself and not make those comparisons, because those will really harm you. And next would be, you can't control what people think ever. People could think that you are fantastic. People could think that you're the worst person on the planet. You just have to be confident in who you are, you're like yourself, and not worry about what someone's going to say, because there's always going to be someone in your life that like you're either not enough or you're too much for. And trying to base yourself off of those people or the opinions of those people will hurt you in the long run. So just keep that in mind. So like I said, these are some tips and tricks that helped me. If you feel that some of them might help you, then feel free to use them and maybe tailor them to what you need in terms of your confidence journey. But like I mentioned, it is just a journey with yourself. It's not a journey that anyone else can take with you. And it does take a long time. It's not like you're gonna wake up overnight and be like super confident in yourself, but you just have to remember to speak nicely to yourself, think highly of yourself, and in the end, you'll be okay. So thank you guys for watching. Have a great one. Bye.